Hello, this is Jeff Disher here again from OpenAutonomy. Today I'm going to show off some of the new features in the storage system that we have in OpenAutonomy regarding how to share directories for things like being able to interoperate with teams or just sort of collaborate with various people who may or may not actually have OpenAutonomy accounts at all. So this is what the interface is looking like with the current setup. What I've set up here is just a bunch of really basic directories. So one I'm going to put some private data in, a read-only one, and one's for these things I'm calling team 1 and team 2. Now normally, if I copy this URL, and I'm going to open this in another browser just to show kind of what this normally works like, normally it says that you can't see this because you're not logged in as the owner, which is fine because normally only the owner should be able to access this information. And say that we go in here, and there's a URL here, and we'll see this is private. So, of course, the usual thing you get if, say, you try and share this link with someone, you don't have access to this file. So it's a forbidden error. So what I'm going to do to show off some of the neat things we can do here is I'm going to go to this directory here. I've got a bunch of other pictures and things, and you can see these are specific ones that I'm going to be using. And again, you can't access them because they're private. So everything's working as expected. But what I'm going to do is up here where it says read-only is not shared, this is where the new functionality exists. So you can share a directory as read-only or read-write. So this one I'm going to make read-only just to show how that kind of behavior works. So you can see now it shows up as a list here and here. So what you do is you get the sharing link. So we would copy link here. And if I go over in Firefox as well, again, this is an anonymous user, so now they can actually see this. Effectively, what they're doing is acting as a read-only version of you when you share this with them. So now, for example, I can open this thing, and it says, oh, you can download it. I'm not going to bother actually downloading it, but it actually lets me do that. It tries to send me the data, even though this is a private file. So this is because it's allowing me to access this directly. And also, they can't tell what the rest of your storage system looks like. They think this is slash, even though if you look over here, it's actually slash read only. So that's kind of useful. You can use that to show, like, just share a bunch of random files with any arbitrary people. And of course, if you want to eventually say you're done doing that, or you want to restrict something, or you think someone gave this link to someone you don't want to see have it, well, that's fine. You just stop sharing. And what this does is if I go over here and refresh, it'll now say that only the owner can see this, because this access key that it's given it has now been destroyed. So whoever has that link, anyone who has it, immediately loses access to everything they're seeing through it. So it's really easy to lock this down if you ever get worried about some sort of security breach. But now say you're going to do something else. You don't just want to give files to people, you want to work with a bunch of them. So I'll go, okay, here, this directory, I'm going to say I'm going to work with a bunch of people in it. So I'll create a read-write directory. So same as before, I'll just copy this link and paste it into my anonymous user over here in Firefox. And now it actually draws this whole setup the same way it would if I were actually logged in here. But again, it can't tell where this is. It just thinks it's sort of the virtual root directory of the system. But what I can do is other things like, say I want to have a project directory, I'll say with project 1. Okay, so I can go in here now and can do whatever, can upload or download files, things like that. Actually, let me just upload something quick here. Alright, yeah, this is, say we're going to upload this QR code. So that's fine. Alright, it's now uploaded. It's a public file. Say I want to restrict this as well, just to be sure. Now note, other users who are using this can't see your private access groups, so you don't have to worry about any of that information getting out. They can change the security for you. It's just not going to have, it won't have any effect on them, but it will change what's going on with your storage and who can access those links normally. So that is something to keep in mind, which is useful if you're going to be having someone like manage this for you, for example. All right, but that's set to private now. Also note, you can copy and paste these, and they do work like normal links, except that if you look at the link at the bottom of the screen here, it actually does have an access key and the shortened path. So you can give this link to someone, and it'll act as a public link for this, even if it's a private file. But it's attached to this shared directory. So if you destroy the shared directory, like if you think someone gave this out and they weren't supposed to, you can just go destroy the shared directory and it'll go away. First of all, if I just refresh this, you can see that now that information that was created by the anonymous user is now here. So let's say I want to stop sharing that, because again, I don't want them to have access to that, and it goes away. So that all works fine, and the other thing that I'll do is show that there isn't any kind of limit to these. Actually, just to demonstrate the point a bit, I'll create again the read-write share for team 1 and go over here, paste that in. Again, they now have access to it once more, and go back to team 2 and I'll share that one. Well, we'll make this one read-only just so it's obvious that it's different. So again, copy that link. So now, okay, I'll open that here. Alright, so now you can see this is where I'm working as team 1, where I have access to it. So there's the team 1 text file there, just so these are obvious who's who. And over here I have the read-only access to the team 2 directory. And so you could then give out these links. They're different, they're completely unique. So you could actually hand these out to different people. So you could, for example, be a company that has one OpenAutonomy storage system somewhere that you just use for everything you're doing. And then you just have a sort of a breakdown of different directories for different users. And you could use that to manage how people are actually sharing files and accessing things. Furthermore, you could even do things like, say team 1 was actually a very large team, and or some other projects, for example, were only to be used by specific people. Say you had them under NDA or something. So say, okay, I'll share this now. So now notice over here that here we're seeing team 2, and here we're seeing team 1 in project 1, right? But it allows me read-write access here. Now over here, I'll get the link that's specific to project 1. So again, now I have this. So now you can actually be sharing directories at a higher level, and like I am here, so all of team 1 is here, but also at the same time be sharing directories at a lower level. So this is only access to project 1 inside team 1. So this allows a lot of versatility, and it allows all these things to be managed independently. This is still fairly new, but it is deployed on the main server, so if you're a user, you have this capability already. And if you're interested in trying it out, of course, send me an email at jeff.disher@openautonomy.com, and let me know what you think. Thanks.